the reason my client Jason fired his weapon that evening back in October 2014 is that he truly was in fear for his life as well as the lives of his fellow police officers.
When you see the video, it does not show any of the normal indications of threat that we've come to associate with deadly action by police. What do you see?
Well, I think I saw the same thing that everyone else is seeing now when I first saw it back almost a year ago. At first seeing it, it's difficult to explain. However, after watching it several times, and most importantly, getting the perspective of my client, that is when I came to the conclusion that his actions were justified. Again, you have to look at what my client Jason was experiencing at the time in which he fired his weapon. And at the time in which he had fired his weapon, he had already been made aware of the fact that this individual had been walking through the neighborhood and waving a knife, had caused a disturbance at a couple of businesses, had stabbed the windshield of a squad car where police officers were involved, had popped the tire of a squad, excuse me, popped the tire of a squad car where police officers were sitting in that squad car. People had called for a taser. No taser was available. So at the point in which my client got there, this had been going on for, I believe, 18 minutes. And when he jumped out of the car, the subject made a motion which put my client in fear that this individual was perhaps going to attack him with a knife.
Well, the motion will be a question of fact. It's certainly not easy to see on the video, but that's part of your job, is to make things clear that aren't clear to everybody else. But the other officers did not act the same way. How does that hurt your analysis?
I don't think it really plays into it too much. I mean, I know that it's that the prosecutor spoke to that fact, and I know that the media has spoken to that fact. But quite frankly, I don't think it's a big issue because of several reasons. Nobody was in the perspective of my client. Nobody was in the same position
they were right
my
next to
client
him.
was. And correct, they were next to him. But there's many reasons why people don't fire. The less distance that somebody has, that's a reason or a factor that somebody will take into consideration about firing. The ability to have shielding is another consideration. The ability to retreat is another consideration. The prospect of crossfire is also another factor that comes into play. So I agree that the video shows that these officers were in the same vicinity, but the video alone, it's not enough to make the determination that that one officer's perspective was the same as my client's, because video, no matter how clear it is, there are problems with video. And most important, I think, is the fact that video by its nature is two-dimensional and it distorts images. So what appears to be clear on a video sometimes is not always that clear.